What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Hainsey coming back for another video, and today we are here to do our season preview for my boys, the Sydney Roosters, and I think it's only fitting that we do it right here, and that is at our home here at Allianz Stadium. So as you guys probably know, that I am in Sydney for the sportshed TV charity match, so I thought I'd come down here to our beautiful home here at Allianz Stadium and do a bit of a season preview for our boys, the Sydney Roosters. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new around here, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn notifications on to see more videos like this one. It's going to be a fantastic season ahead. In 3 weeks' time, we will be back here at Allianz Stadium. But next week, we will be at Suncorp Stadium for the Dolphins and the Roosters at Sunday afternoon. That's Suncorp. The Storm of the Dolphins. It's going to be a great afternoon. The first NRL vlog of 2023. It's just a week away. So stick around to the channel, guys. It's going to be a fantastic year ahead. So if you guys are new around here, like, subscribe, turn notifications on, see more videos like this one. Follow me on my socials on TikTok and on Instagram at Hainsey_YT. There's so much planned in 2023. It's going to be great. So come along for the ride. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. The road really starts now. NRL is next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get into this video. Come on! Yeah! It was right here, unfortunately, where our season ended in my very own eyes. That 30-16 loss to the South Sydney Rabbitohs, which was it wasn't the greatest afternoon in my life. In fact, I actually left 5 minutes early, so I didn't miss my flight home. It was one of my most depressing moments in my life, that's for sure. But I think this is even though it's the year of the rabbit, but I think it's the year of the rooster. That's 100% confirmed. Now let's go through a keys in and outs for the Roosters this season that we're going to look at. So obviously the key outs for the Roosters this year, we've lost Sia Takiaho, and we've also lost Sam Verrills. They've gone to the Super League, and Verrills has gone to the Titans. At the same time, we've also lost Adam Kieran off to the Super League as well. Kevin Nguama as well. They've also gone elsewhere this season, so we are out with a few players this season. However, though, we've got some key players in, and that's a big in for this season. So obviously we've got Sam Verrills out because he's off to the Titans, but we bring in the cheese. Brandon Smith is at the club, and I think we are wearing the go to see how he goes. And the other key ones, in particular, Jackson Polo from the South Sydney Rabbitohs as well. He's jumped on board into the centre's position. We've also got Jake Turpin from the Brisbane Broncos, and Corey Allen from the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs have jumped on board in 2023. So some big keys, ins and outs over the season, and that's going to really help our charge in 2023. Now, look, obviously, we aren't the fast starters. And that's correct. Like last year, we lost to Newcastle at the SCG last year. I was at that game, and it wasn't fun either. So we've got a little bit of a slow start in round one, but we normally come good at the back end of the season, that's for sure. But we play the Dolphins next week at Suncorp Stadium, which I will be at. Don't you worry about that. So that's going to be a great opportunity to see where we're at. The preseason challenge form wasn't. It was good and bad. Like our young stars did really well against the Melbourne Storm the week before, where we played in there in Geelong. It was great to see that our youngsters come out and have a hit and really played some good footy. On the other hand, though, when we were nearly full strength against Manly last week in Gosford, it wasn't great either. We were very disappointing, very sloppy, and that's what you expect when it's your first team performance of the season, and we had a little bit of ins and outs, so that wasn't ideal, but you got to go on with it. So I think we'll get bigger and better, obviously, throughout the season as the season unfolds. Key injuries at this stage. We'll go through the squad depth at the moment. Obviously, the big out so far at the start of the season is Connor Watson. He's done a knee. He'll be back towards the back end of the season. So Tilly Tupanua and Billy Smith are still recovering from the ACL injury that they suffered against the Dragons back in round 20s or midway through last year. So they're still recovering from their ACL injury. They will be back for around about May, I would say. Around about that May period, during the Origin period, which will be very handy because there'll be some players that are selected for Origin, and that'll be a very big win there. Obviously, lately, so Joey Manu is in doubt for round one. Obviously, he's got a cheekbone injury, which he suffered at training. Jararia Hargreaves did a back problem around about that same week before the All-Stars game, where they were ruled out of the All-Stars week because of it. as well. Luke Keary suffered a knock at training with a blow to the jaw. He's also in doubt for round 1, so it's going to be interesting to see where they go. Obviously, the big news which come out recently is unfortunately the mental health issues with Angus Crichton, and we wish Angus all the best. It's sad of what's happened. There is he's going through some mental health issues, which is just terrible to see. And we don't want to see any player with mental health issues, never alone one of our players at the Roosters. So it's going to be unfortunately it's not the greatest ideal for him, but we wish you all the best, Angus, if you're watching, and we'll support you as a club. So he said he's out for the first 6 weeks, though. Unfortunately, though, I think it's going to be a little bit longer than that, so we'll see how we go. So that's the injury in front. They will return at some stage this season, so it's going to be fine, I think. But we go through the big games this year. So obviously we play Souths twice, we play Penrith twice, we'll play the Cowboys at Magic Round, we play the Broncos at the Gabba, which is a key game as well. The teams that we play twice, we also played Melbourne twice, we played Manly twice. So I think it was like 8 teams we played twice and 8 teams we played once. So, and then we've got the 3 byes, obviously in round 4, and then throughout the season as well. So the squad depth's looking pretty good. We've got some really good youngsters as well. So Seal Wong, also, he's the big fella up and coming. I think I've been really impressed throughout the pre-season form with Terrell May, also with Ben Thomas, Fletcher Baker. They're always youngsters coming through. I think the way we're going to go in round 1, we're going to have Egan Butcher and Nat Butcher in the back row. And then obviously Victor the Inflictor at lock as well. And oh my God, there is a South fan behind me. But yeah, we'll get into it now. It's going to be a fantastic season. I can't wait for it. Obviously, the way that I want this to work, that we can build it. We got to build a season. When we spoke to Trent Robertson around about round 5 last year at Suncorp before our game against the Broncos, we were actually. He said it's about building a season. And I'm not worried about if we go out and we're like 3 from 6 games after the first 6 seasons, the first 6 games. I'm not too worried. The only reason why is because it's about building. He reassured that it's about building a season. If we can build a season, and we saw that last season when in the back 8 weeks of the competition, we were flying home, and it took some absolute carnage of a game here at Allianz where we lost to the Rabbitohs, and yeah, that's pretty much ended our season. But in saying that, though, we've got to make sure that we're still able to make the top 4. It's so hard to win the premiership from outside the top 4. I think if we can still win the minor premiership, we saw that in 2018, we were very slow to start with, then we turned it around and end up winning the comp. So if we can somehow do something like that, it'll be interesting to see how we go. So it's all about building a season for us, and I can't wait for what's going to installed in 2023. So I think in summing up, though, I think the way that we're going to win this season is basically building a squad mentality. Obviously, we got to get our spine gelling, literally not straight away, but within games early on in the season. So in these games, for example, in round 1 where we play the Dolphins, this is a game there where even though we're going to be clunky and we're not going to be at our best, that's the games that we expect to win. So I think that's going to be the key this year, backing up from last year. It's games that we were expected to win last year that we weren't able to win. That's what was our downfall and our Achilles heel last year, was winning games where we were supposed to win. For example, when we played the Dolphins, the Newcastle Knights in round 1. We played the Dragons on Anzac Day, and then followed up played against the Bulldogs, where we lost those games. So those 3 games there, that could have got us to 36 points, and that would have got us into the top 4. Which made us avoid playing our arch rivals in an absolute slogfest in the first week of the finals. We could have played a team like Cronulla or the Cowboys in week 1, and we could have been. You wouldn't know what the story would have been in 2022. We could have been in the preliminary final, and we would have played Penrith in the grand final. Not saying we're going to win it, but I'm saying that the season could have been a lot different if we were able to win games where we were expected to win. And obviously, it didn't help last year. We had a 6-week run where we played Parramatta twice, Penrith twice, and Melbourne. So that really didn't help our cause there. But you got to beat the team. You got to be the best. You got to beat the best. So. And I think we've got a pretty reasonable draw at the start of the season. We play the Dolphins at Suncorp next week. Then we're back here at Allianz in round 2 against the Warriors, against the old enemies in round 3 against the Rabbitohs. Then we've got our first bye. So I think that'll be good to freshen up after that game. And then we play Parramatta afterwards. So the first 5 games are pretty good. We play New Zealand, which is going to be interesting though. We play the Warriors in New Zealand, which is going to be a danger game because we all know what the Warriors can be like in New Zealand, but we should win that game as well. Anzac Day is also going to be back here at Allianz, so We haven't lost a home, now get me right, so a home Anzac Day game since 2015. So we won in 2017, we won in 2019, we won in 2021. 2020 wasn't counted in that. 2020 was unfortunately ruled out because of COVID, but it wasn't meant to be a Dragons home game. We actually played them in Cogra, so yeah, but anyway. And then 2022 last year we lost at the SCG when it was a Dragons home game. So, but anyway, we've got a good record in Anzac Day in the last few seasons. And then we play, there's games in that period there where we play games back at the SCG, which is going to be great. I don't mind the SCG. It's that historical feeling with us. So we've got, at least we're not there than somewhere else. We've got SCG. We also take a game to Gosford, which is going to be great. We even play the Broncos at the Gabba, which is going to be interesting as well. So it's going to be a great season ahead. Looking forward to see how the boys do. I think the only worry I got to worry here is make sure that we get our spine clicking early, not like midway through last year. We get it within the first few months will be great, and then just building a season and then timing our run towards the premiership. I will think we will win the comp this year. There's a lot of teams a lot of people out there who agree with me. So, well, let's see how we go. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up my season preview for the Sydney Roosters right here at Allianz Stadium. We will see you guys in 3 weeks when we take on the South Sydney Rabbitohs here. So, I'll see you in 3 weeks' time. But for you guys on the channel, I'll see you guys on Sunday when we take on the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys new around here, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications on to see more videos like this one. I really thank you guys for your time and appreciation. And what are you doing, clown? No, I'm just joking. Let's wrap it up anyway. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Follow me on my socials on TikTok, Hainsy_YT, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, it's goodbye for now. And from Allianz Stadium, it's goodbye for now.